Hi there. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Learn with Us. I know I'm very excited to be here and joined with Amruta. And today we're going to go over and continue my journey through learning CockroachDB and go through a few different things, really going through the course Cockroach University. So just a little background, really who the stream is for students, people who are learning CockroachDB maybe for the first time. You're a developer, you're just interested, or you are maybe looking to host a new database and you're just in the beginnings of looking into CockroachDB as a service for your database. So this is really just a low level kind of explanation or high level explanation, excuse me, of CockroachDB, and I'll be making my way. I'm a salesperson at Cockroach Lab, so I don't have a whole lot of knowledge in terms of SQL and coding and developing and database knowledge. So this is my journey as I learn CockroachDB, and Amruta is here to guide me along the way. And again, we're using Cockroach University. This is our free source for you to use and learn, and we have a bunch of different courses. We are going to really be focusing on practical first steps with CockroachDB, which is one of the many courses that you can take. We also have different courses for Python, for Java, and if I'm missing any, Amruta, let me know. But we have a bunch of different courses for you to kind of digest this stuff. But we are going to go over the first real course of practical first steps. Now, this is a continuation from another session that we had about a month ago. So my hair is a little bit longer and the weather's a little bit hotter, right? So it's been about a month or so since we last went through the course. And during that time, we were really going through chapter 1 of Cockroach University, focusing on different labs. So we downloaded CockroachDB onto my Mac, and we're able to then connect that to a SQL shell, create a table, and then went through how to use CockroachDB with a actual database that Amruta made that sorted out different dogs that some of our colleagues have, and you're able to source maybe location and where those dogs are located. And that was a lot of fun. We spent about the later part of that live stream doing that. So that was a ton of fun, and we're continuing on to chapter 2. And we will also go through CockroachCloud Free Tier, and we'll get a little bit more into the weeds. I'll explain that as we move forward. But that's another way to digest CockroachDB. It's another service of ours. So thank you so much for joining us. I really, really appreciate it. Hopefully I don't suffer too much in my SQL abilities today, but I'm excited for the ride. And Amruta, if you have anything to add, please do.
Nah, you covered everything perfectly.
Wonderful. I'm happy. Good. That's great. All right. So I guess let's go into it. Are you ready? All righty. So again, we're going to be starting with chapter 2. So I'm going to share my screen. And here we go. Hopefully you can see everything. As you can see right now, I have our Cockroach University page set up, and next to that, I have a terminal, and hopefully it's all clear for you. Now, again, these, just to kind of go through again, this is the course overview on this gray tab over here, and you will be kind of going, as you take the course, through different modules. Now, there are videos, there are instructions, and there are labs, and even quizzes at the end to kind of test you on your knowledge of what you learned. So really great ways to just digest this information and make your way through Cockroach University. Again, we already went through a significant portion of this, and we're just continuing on from this chapter 1 overview and first steps, and moving on to chapter 2 over here. And so today, we are going to do the lab on spinning up a 3-node cluster, which is pretty exciting. Now, just very high level, this is a really great way to understand CockroachDB and kind of how we model ourselves with our kind of resiliency. And this is where we get our name, Cockroach Labs. Cockroaches are really, really extremely resilient creatures. They're really hard to kill. I'm pretty sure, a bunch of cockroaches in my apartment building that have been around since the 80s. So, and maybe before that, maybe since the dinosaurs, who knows? But we like to think of ourselves as a database that is also really, really hard to kill. And in part, doing that is making sure to have a consensus algorithm, which is raft protocol. And we like to think of ourselves as running in threes. So today, running a 3-node local cluster will kind of highlight that resiliency aspect of Cockroach. And really, you're able to ensure the highest level of resiliency through that consensus. So if there's anything to add with that, Amruta, I'm going to open it up. All good? Awesome. Great. So instructions for today, we are going to, and I'm going to say this out loud for us. So you should stop any existing nodes before starting this lab and start a 3-node cluster on your computer. So unlike a single node cluster, you'll need to initialize this cluster and then run each of these in their own terminal. So moving to the terminal here, we are going to first check if CockroachDB is running, correct?
Yeah, we're going to first check if CockroachDB is installed. So we'll check what version we are running.
Wonderful. And that is by running cockroach space version, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Awesome. Let's go. That's a win.
Yay.
All right. Nice. So it looks like we are installed and ready to go. And partly that's because, again, we went through the installation process in our first live stream. So highly recommend checking out that YouTube page to go through the process of installing CockroachDB onto your laptop and running it that way. So skipping ahead now, we are going to start this 3-node cluster. And correct me if I'm wrong, will I be copy and pasting each of these into their own terminal? So their own tab.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great. And with this, do I have to start? Can I have one already started in this tab, and then can I continue on with the rest of them, or should there be 4 separate tabs?
No, you can start the first one here.
Okay, great, wonderful. So boom, I'm going to copy and paste this. It's as easy as that. Copy, paste, enter. Great. All righty, and then I'm going to start a new tab, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Control T. Is that working out? Control, or I can just go to new tab here. And then the same thing, copy and paste this command. Enter.
Mm-hmm.
Looking good?
Yep.
Great. Add a new tab. Copy, paste. Enter. All right.
And
then our final one.
Yeah.
Awesome. New tab, copy, paste, enter.
Yay.
There we go. So you can see here, cluster successfully initialized. So we are running. Now, with this, we can begin to verify that this is done correctly by going to our admin UI, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And so here, they have the directions here. Look for the HTTP ADDR flag for one of your nodes. It should be shown on all 3 of the nodes. And I believe I can use, and so HTTP ADDR. All right. Right
yeah,
here, I believe. And then do I go to host 8082?
Yeah, so you go to localhost :8082.
Great, wonderful. And then
wait, you don't need the HTTPR thing. You just need the localhost. Yeah,
there we go. Wonderful. So just need the local host here. And now we're going to see the admin UI, which also we went over before, but this is great because you can see now that it's running. I think this is one of the more exciting parts of when you're doing this is like to physically be able to see these nodes working in actually working. And again, you can see that by seeing the status here, node status live, and the amount of replicas. And we have the 3 nodes that I mentioned. So currently we are running a 3-node cluster, which is great. And this is one of the really great benefits of having CockroachDB. It's a really digestible UI. And you can see an overall overview, but again, going to different metrics here, which are really cool. Replicas per node, capacity, service latency, SQL queries. This is really great. It makes it easy to use. Databases here, the sessions, transactions, which is really great. Statements. Now, so we are currently running the 3 nodes, which is awesome. And so we completed that lab for chapter 2, which is great. It's nice and easy. And I think just making it digestible as possible, making sure that you're able to copy and paste those easily and get running, makes this really fun for me, who would have a hard time trying to figure that out, I think, on my own. So this is great. And with that, is there anything else, Amruta, that you would like to add in terms of the 3-node cluster and the lab itself?
No, I think this was pretty straightforward. All the lab has you do is, so to recap, the first time we saw CockroachDB, we started a single node cluster, but the promise of CockroachDB, or what makes it special, is that it can scale, which is what we did today. Is we started a 3-node cluster. So yeah, well done.
Awesome, and scaling as easy as that, which is great.
Yes.
And as that you're able to scale out 3 databases just by some simple commands, to me is like a wild thing, just because starting one was already a something to learn, you know? So this is great.
Yeah, like if you wanted to add more nodes to the cluster, all you would have to do is do the exact same commands, just change the flag values, keep them incrementing the port values, and that's it. And then you can just keep adding nodes to your cluster.
That's great. And so technically, can I, within this lab, if I were to start more tabs and different kind of commands, would it just be as easy as that? So, 5, 6, just keep going up, and then they would show on this admin UI.
Yes. The only thing to remember is you will have to keep incrementing the port numbers for each thing. So like right now we are port 8082 is for node 3, I think. So if you need a 4th node, you'll have to increment it to port 8083. So you just need to keep incrementing the addresses. But other than that, that's as easy as that.
Awesome. That's so great. I love it. So great. That's finishing up really what we had set for chapter 2 here. Spinning up a 3-node cluster. We had the admin UI. Again, these are videos that you can check out on your own, and they give you some overall kind of notes here from these videos that you can go through. And yeah, that's it for this lab. And then you would go through the exam and have a final exam here and some next steps. So really exciting. Highly recommend go through the course. If I can do it, I know you can do it. So I recommend spending an hour and a half getting through. I think last time we were able to spin up just a single node cluster in under an hour, and maybe even under 30 minutes. And that's with some banter and some speaking in between. So that was really fun. And this stuff is really fun and easy to do, and highly recommend going through it. And hopefully it's easy for you to use us as a resource when you're going through the course itself. Sometimes this stuff can be a little overwhelming, a little confusing, just in terms of how you learn. You might like to have some notes, some videos, but you might actually like to see somebody using the database itself. And so that's what we're hoping for as this is a resource for you. So we're going to move on and some exciting news. We're going to go set up a free tier Cockroach Cloud, CockroachCloud Free Tier. So as I mentioned earlier, Cockroach Cloud is another way to use CockroachDB. Cockroach Cloud is our fully managed service. And you get with Cockroach Cloud all of the things and features that you would find in CockroachDB. That is change data capture so you can stream out your data. That is geo-partitioning of your data to have low latency for your users, to adhere to geo-partitioning across the globe, like some GDPR, which are some data regulation laws, being able to scale easily, and being able to have just a bunch of other features that allow you to really thrive with CockroachDB. And again, we will be managing that service for you with Cockroach Cloud. But free tier is a really great way for you to get some experience. Maybe this is after you spent some time with Cockroach University and you're looking to just have a test environment to see if Cockroach Cloud could be an option for you. Sometimes we have noticed when you're testing out CockroachDB, maybe on some other cloud providers like GCE, GCP, AWS, you will have to, if you can see this, go to have a bunch of different steps to really get that started. And you might even have to pay for the cloud provider as well. And so we're allowing you to really get to know Cockroach Cloud by doing it yourself and spinning it up and getting that for free, and really situating yourself through that way. Amruta, I don't know if you want to add anything about Cockroach Cloud.
Yeah, the main benefit from that I have learned about Cockroach Cloud is that it just does away with all of it. Like if you were to set up CockroachDB by yourself on AWS or GCP, first of all, it would cost a lot to even like set up a test environment. And also it's just very painful because the cloud providers do not make it easy to deploy things on the cloud. So spending all that time and energy like figuring out how figuring out how CockroachDB would work with that cloud, you don't have to go through any of it. Instead, you just click one button and you get your own hosted CockroachDB cluster. It's magic.
It's magic. It's great. That's awesome. And so what we're going to do is just show how easy it is, how that magic actually in work today. I feel like for me personally, all of this is pretty much magic. As I go through CockroachDB, it blows my mind just how easy it is to use it. And so we're going to take you kind of step by step how to just get started with the free tier cluster. So I have a tab here ready for us. Now, normally you would go to Cockroach Cloud, CockroachLabs.cloud to find this for you to create your own cluster here. Now you'll go through signing up, so putting in your email and choosing the free plan here, and you might have to just confirm your email address. I did all that stuff prior to this, so I won't get a bunch of emails to my private email. But this is already set up, so this is the page that you see after you go and you just confirmed that your email address for Cockroach Cloud Free. And as you can see, there's some differences that I think it's important to just quickly go over. This is our free tier, so it has some limited functionality, and that's really important to just to highlight. So this is, again, used for testing out for small scale applications, and maybe just some development environments where you're testing out and seeing if Cockroach will be a good fit for you. Now it's free forever. There's no 1 month stoppage here. You are free forever. You can use this until you are ready to move on to possibly a production Cockroach Cloud cluster or CockroachDB. And we have encryption in flight, at rest, automatic updates, and some storage there for you. Now, Cockroach Cloud, as I mentioned, you get a bunch of features that you will find in CockroachDB. But again, this is our fully managed service. So you can see the price here. We have a free 30-day trial, dedicated physical machines, access to those monitoring tools, and being able to have those daily backups and time restore things. So some differences here, and we are going to get started with the CockroachCloud Free and create your free database. Nice. So we're starting here. About 20 to 30 seconds. How's your day going, Amruta?
It's going really well. This is like my favorite part of the day, though.
Me too. I agree.
Yeah.
I've been looking forward to this for like over a month now.
I know. Yeah, we had to keep postponing it. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Oh, please. So here we go. We have our setup page. So this is some of the info that you will see once it is downloaded. And what we have to do is download the CA certificate to connect securely to the cluster. So we are going to download this here. Pop up here. Boom.
We don't need it. We just need to find out its path. So we don't need the contents of it. We'll just have to figure out its path to enter it into the connection string later.
So download.
Yeah, just download it and that's it. Yeah.
Perfect. So it's ready to go. And then I'm going to copy the client right here for the Mac.
No, because so download the CockroachDB client if you don't have it already, but we have it set up on your machine because we just spun up a local cluster. So we don't need to do that.
Awesome.
I can,
great.
Yeah, I can explain what the steps are if that helps.
Yeah,
so
please do.
So what we are doing in the first step is we are downloading the CA cert. That is a security measure. Do not use this in production. But for testing purposes, it is kind of optional, but it is still like a standard best practice to always connect securely, which is why we made it into an actual step, is download the CA cert. And what it does, it helps you authenticate your client with Cockroach Cloud. So that's like a certificate that you present to the server being like, hey, this is my identity. Can you authenticate me and then let me connect to the cluster? That's what the CA cert is for. It's like your ID card for the Cockroach Cloud cluster. So that's one component of it. The second thing, you need to connect to Cockroach Cloud. So Cockroach Cloud is the CockroachDB server already running in the cloud, right? We already did that. We created the cluster. That part's done. What we're doing now is figuring out how do we access that cluster that we just created. So these are the different components that we need to be able to access the Cockroach Cloud cluster. So the first component is the CA cert, which is like an ID card. The second is the CockroachDB client that we already have installed on your machine that we will then use to talk to the cluster. So that's the second step. And then the third step is putting these together and then actually being able to access the server.
Okay, wonderful. Great. And so here with the terminal, with those 3 nodes that are running, can I continue on with the terminal itself and just be able to plug some of this information here? Or is this something that you would recommend starting a completely new terminal here, like a blank kind of terminal? I don't think
it would make a difference, but just to be safe, let's start with a new terminal. But that's a really good question, and my instinct is it wouldn't matter, but I might be wrong.
Awesome, great. Well, I'm happy to ask it. All right, so I'm going to exit out of that. Goodbye 3 nodes. It was fun having you for a while. Great.
Oh, just FYI, they're still running on your machine. We haven't killed them yet. We just but out of sight, out of mind. We don't have to think about them right now.
Out of sight, out of mind. I don't want them gone. I don't want them away from me. I can have them on my laptop forever.
Yes.
my little cockroach pets.
Yes. They'll survive forever.
Yeah, survive forever. All right. So we downloaded the CA cert, and now we are going to, and we already downloaded this binary. We're ready to go. So I can copy down here for step 3, open a terminal, correct?
Yes.
And what's important is for your certs directory here, this will be altered. Correct?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Great.
Okay. So now we need to find the path to the CSR that we downloaded, and we need to replace that your source directory placeholder with that path.
Okay, great. And then that will be the path you'll find in your folder, correct?
Right.
Show in
So
Finder.
yes, go to Finder, but I think you downloaded it twice. So take the first one, right click, and wait. No, cancel. We just need the
here.
path. Right click and say get info. Oh. Yeah, get info.
Get info.
And then yep, that's your path. So it will be, I can't see it. In the where field. So
Where
user
field?
/ or your name / downloads. That's the path.
Great. So copy that.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Boom. Boom. And then I will go to after root cert. I'll insert here.
Yeah, I don't think that will work. I think you have to like use your arrow to go back. Try it.
Try the pasting here.
Yeah.
And should I keep them into the arrow brackets?
No.
No. Okay. Great.
I don't think the terminal will let you do that. Just click into the terminal. Don't do anything. Just click into it.
Should be clicked into it.
Yeah, just click.
Okay.
And see if it'll let you paste it. I doubt it.
Here, or just in general, try to paste it.
Yeah, yeah. Did it work? Nah. Okay. So what the terminal is kind of annoying that way. It's not like Google Docs where it will like paste where your cursor is. So you have to get into the terminal, use the arrow key to go back, then do like the backspace thing and then paste it. So it's kind of annoying.
Okay. So now I would delete then the user's Paul R. Licursi download. So delete this here.
Yeah, and then use your arrow to go back.
Then arrow to go back.
Oh, you need to delete the last. Yep, nothing. Perfect. Oops.
Oh, I lost it.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, there we go.
Alrighty.
Use your arrow, your left arrow to navigate. Just press your left arrow. Yeah, and keep going until you reach your source directory part. Yeah, there we go. And then just delete all of delete and paste. It's kind of annoying. There are better options to do that, but this is the lazy option.
This is my option.
Yeah, it's mine too. And then
okay, and now space.
Paste. Paste the path that we copied.
Paste.
There we go.
Perfect. And then enter, correct?
Yeah, yep.
There we go.
Yeah.
And then I will allow the terminal to access my files.
Yeah.
Okay. Boom.
There we go. You're connected to your CockroachCloud cluster.
Let's go. Woo! A 5. Nice.
So, yeah. So all that we did from the first session, we started a cluster, then we spun up into 3 nodes, then we downloaded the thing, then we connected to the cluster. All of this took like 30 seconds to create the cluster. And then, I don't know, if we didn't run into technical issues, this would have been much faster. But that's all it takes. All you need is a connection string and you're done.
And you're ready to go. You're ready to start testing out.
Yes, and this is hosted in Google Cloud Platform. You don't have to set up the load balancer. You don't have to go through the network configuration. You don't have to worry about any of that. Our brilliant SRE team took care of all of it. And yeah, we just click one button and we have a cluster.
That's awesome. And from here again, you can just start. Can you also see? Is this the same kind of with the other 3-node cluster we had, the UI that you could see? Does CockroachCloud Free Tier have a similar UI that you can log into?
The UI is being integrated into free tier, so you can't see the UI in the free tier yet, but you can see it the paid version of Cockroach Cloud. But it's in the works, so you'll be able to see it very soon.
That's great. Yeah, and I feel like this is still somewhat in its beta. We released Cockroach Free Tier. Is it 2 or 3 months ago? I feel like time is beginning to blend for me a bit.
I think in like Feb, so 3-4 months.
In February?
Now? Yeah.
Wow. It seems like just yesterday.
Yeah.
And this was, I think Free Tier for Cockroach was a major accomplishment. Being able to have this free and being able to have people really just use CockroachDB as being the database for developers. When you're choosing a database, I think it's really important for developers to make this as easy as possible, but also familiar. And that's why we speak SQL and go through these kind of easy steps to get familiar. I mean, again, if I'm able to do this, I'm hoping that other people, whether it be going through YouTube or LinkedIn or whatever, can just start up a quick kind of cluster, download maybe Cockroach Cloud for fun, and just get started with CockroachDB. We really want to make this as easy as possible, and the first choice for developers as they're making their way and choosing a database to use. So hoping this is as easy as it has been for me. And Amruta, thank you so much for just for helping me as always get through this. I don't know what I would do without you.
No, you're the best. You don't need me here, to be honest. I'm just here because it's fun.
Well, thank you so much. I had a great time, by the way, last time going through the dogs and setting up the database that way. So I highly recommend anyone who is watching right now or will watch, check out that first YouTube video live stream. We had a lot of fun going through that. Today was a little bit shorter, but still had a lot of fun doing this.
Yes, I will like to just close this out. I will share one tidbit of why I love Free Tier so much. If you notice, Free Tier doesn't have any nodes. We didn't set up 1-node or 3-node cluster. It is just that you get a connection string and here's your database and go play with it. We even take out the complexity of the concepts of nodes and replication. You don't need to worry about that. We'll take care of it. So it's just a database. We are making it as simple as possible for you to just focus on your app and not have to worry about the internals of CockroachDB at all.
Awesome. Yeah, and I think that's the most exciting thing with Cockroach Cloud is being able to do that. Really focusing on your applications, building that out, letting us deal with everything else, which is great. So yeah, that's really it for me. I had a great time going through the Chapter 2 lab. Again, that is part of Cockroach University. Free, easy to use, going through a bunch of free stuff. So again, use it. Go check it out. It's really easy to use, really easy to get through the course. And I believe when you're done with the courses themselves, you're able to get some company swag. So
yes,
that's exciting too. We've got some cool t-shirts. I don't know if we're still doing the socks, but the socks were my favorite of the swag gift.
Same. I miss the socks.
Yeah, that was another color ago when we were a little bit more green.
Yeah.
But here we are. So yeah, and then we went through setting up the free tier cluster for Cockroach Cloud. So thank you so much. That's really it on my end. Amruta, as always, thank you. It's a pleasure. And we hope to see you using Cockroach. And if you have any feedback about it, please let us know. We're always open to any of your concerns, or if you have any questions, leave them on the chat or on YouTube. We'd be more than happy to answer those as quickly as we can. So thank you so much. And that's it. I hope you have a great rest of your day, everyone, and especially you, Amruta. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
All righty. Bye.